to turn this into this and get our Minecolonies town off to a great start. That means placing our town hall, getting our first citizens to join us, making sure they're protected and fed, and then organizing our town's infrastructure. But before I can do any of that, I need some resources. Like any new Minecraft world, we start out in the same way. We punch trees, gather some basic resources, and make a starter base. However, with Minecolonies, we can actually make a supply camp as our starter base. To make the supply camp is actually really easy. All we need to do is make up 5 chests of any kind, and for just those resources, which is just a bit of wood, we're going to get a ton of resources, as you're about to see. So with our supply camp made up, what we can do now is go ahead and place it somewhere. Now, over there, the green marker, that's where our town hall is going to go. So I figured that having the camp up here might be kind of nice, where it can look down upon the town. So if we right click on the floor with the supply camp, we can go ahead and choose which pack we want to use for the supply camp itself. So let's try out Medieval Dark Oak, for example, see what that looks like. If we press escape right here, we can come back and see how it's all looking. Then we can right click the supply camp and just do all kinds of things like rotating it around, making it higher and lower and stuff like that until we get it into the orientation that we want it to be. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to see where it's going. So a tip I'll give you if you're playing single player is go ahead and open to land and allow cheats on just like that. Then you can go /game mode into creative, just like this. We can actually fly around. So now if we place the supply camp roughly where we want it to be, press escape, and we can actually fly around now and see exactly what position it's going into. So this here now we can position it in creative mode just like this and get it to exactly where we want it to be. The other thing you can do is switch packs while you're up here by right clicking and hitting switch pack like this, and then you can try out all different ones to see which one you like the best. Now I'm going to choose this one right here, the Minecolonies pack. This is how it looks, and as you can see, it's quite a big like camp right here. It's, it's reasonably sized and it looks quite nice, and it's going to have all the stuff we need to get started, which I'll show you in just a second. But first, let's get it where we want it to be placed. So I'm going to want it to go about here, which means I'm going to have to take down a load of this grass, because if we try and place it right now, it won't work. But by flying around the perimeters, we can double check and make sure it is in the right spot, and that's looking good. Now, one important thing, if you do what I'm doing, don't place it whilst in creative mode. You need to go back into survival mode. One nice feature is when we hit the red X to get rid of the supply camp, these blocks will stay here just like this, and we can see what we need to do. So for example, these here are saying not a solid, so we just have to put any solid block down, and obviously we'll use dirt here so it'll fit the rest of the area. Then we have some other blocks that are like these ones over here, and it's saying like need air above, right? So basically what this means, we just need to take these blocks here out. The great thing about building a supply camp is it comes with a bed, workstations, and storage. On top of that, in the storage, you get things like food, and you also get your town hall and build one. So that's actually how you get your town started in Minecolonies. And this will of course come with any supply camp or supply ship that you build. It's been a pretty good start so far. However, with the mods we have in this pack, we can do things a little faster. With all that fast resource gathering, my storage is starting to overflow. A good storage room is always a nice thing to build in Minecolonies early on anyway, so let's make one central to where the town hall is going. Now the town hall is going to be roughly where this marker is right here, so I think building a storage room somewhere in this area is probably a good idea. But why did I choose this as a location for my town hall? Well, it's a great location because there's a lot of flat land around here, as you can see, so that means we can get our town off to a really fast start and get things built quite easily. On top of that, we got a lot of resources that we need nearby, like all the trees over there and the sand and stuff like that, and there's also a lot of water nearby, which is really useful. We're going to make ourselves up a supply ship just over here and make a bit of a harbour, which I think is a really integral part of any Minecolonies town, and it looks amazing. On top of that, certain Minecolonies workers, like the fishermen for example, do need to be near water. So with that planned out, we're going to find a good location for the storage room, maybe up here somewhere, and get that built. With the storage room now built, this is what it looks like, and it's in a very central location to our town with a ton of storage and also some workstations inside, so I'm pretty happy with the end result. The next thing I'd like to do is work on the port area so we can build the supply ship. So that's going to be built somewhere around here, and this is how it looks right now. But we're about to change this all up and then put the supply ship in place. Making the supply ship is very easy to do, similar to the supply camp. We just need 5 boats, and there we go, that is made. Now in creative mode, we can fly around and find a little spot for it. I think just in here is going to be pretty good because it kind of already is a natural harbor looking shape that we won't have to do much modifying to. Then we need to go down and right click, and I find that you need to right click on the floor, not on the water itself, otherwise it doesn't work. Now we're going to escape out and fly up once again so we can actually see the ship in situ, and this is actually a really cool ship. This is a Viking ship, but not the ship that we're going to go for. I am going to once again select the Minecolonies style because I like the fact that it's got the red sails, quite like the color red. I think it looks pretty nice as like a medieval type of ship. And obviously what we want to do here now is rotate it and try and get it to a spot where we think it's going to look good. Now with the ships, one thing you need to do is make sure that they're at the right Y level, because if we go up into the air, you see if you go too far you get this, which is no good. But we could easily have thought that was the right level when actually what we need to do is come up to here. So basically when these blue things here are flush with the water, that's when you know you're at the right level and you can place it. Now last time I played Minecolonies, I was able to place as many supply ships as I wanted, but now it's saying if you've placed one, you cannot place another one in the world unless you find one in a treasure chest. Now you guys saw me make up the supply ship on camera, so what I'm going to do is get rid of that one right there, and don't worry about this being a bit messed up. It's because I'm using a texture pack that isn't fully updated, but I'm going to just cheat in a different supply ship and we'll see if this works. Let me test this out. We are now here in creative mode. Let's hit the tick, and yes, that did indeed work. So let me go back into survival. I just want to explain something. I did say earlier, do not place your supply ship or camp in creative mode. Now this is true for the first one that you place down. However, once you've placed down the first one and you've got your town hall and stuff out of that, you're okay to do it for future ones, as you can see here that we've done. So this is good. I think it's okay to do this. I'm just doing it to make it look cool. I will not take any resources from it and stuff, so it's not cheaty. Hopefully you guys agree with that. And the thing I want to do now is build a nice port around this, as I mentioned earlier. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and have a little time lapse of this being built.
And they go just as fast. They are slowly fading through the smoke, and I can hear myself think.
So this right here is how the harbour looks now, and I'm pretty happy with the end result. I have to say the palm trees that are just naturally here make a really nice addition. Down on the dock area itself, you can see I've added torches around, or lanterns around, to keep it lit up. We've also got some benches, some barrels, some hay, stuff like that. And then of course the gangplank leading over to the galleon itself. Now of course in the future we'll need to add to this. Right now this is just around the boat, but we want this to go all the way around the coast and also connect up to the rest of the town. But we need to obviously build the rest of the town first. So it's just going to sit there like that for now and be something that we can work on over time. With the town hall block that we got from placing the supply camp up there earlier on in the game, we can now go ahead and start our town. So we place down the town hall, and as soon as we do that, citizens are going to start coming. Now, I'd already decided that roughly here is where I wanted to make my town hall. In fact, I did make a little waypoint for this. If we turn it back on, we can see exactly where it was. Yeah, there we go, over there. Now, the only issue is it's now going to be a little bit close to the storage room I've built. That's not too bad. Let's just turn that back off. We're going to find a little spot just here to build it. Now, once again, I recommend that you open up to land with cheats on and do this in creative mode. It's just going to give you a lot more freedom to fly around and have a look at the area. The town will expand out from your town hall, so the town hall will be the center. So you want to try and get it in the center of the landmass you're building on, which for us is obviously this island right here. This is like our immediate landmass. So I actually think that pretty much where I am is going to be pretty good, just like here somewhere. So what I'm going to do now is right click like that and hit use the build tool, which I could have just used the build tool in the first place, and you get this come up, which is all the different building types. Now the fundamentals is where you're going to find the town hall. So if we click that and click town hall, there we go. Then we need to choose the pack, and obviously you've got all these different packs. Now I'm going to go with the medieval dark oak because I quite like that one right there. And for some reason it's gone away. Let's go and click that once again. So fundamentals, town hall, there we go. And we'll hit the alternative town hall. I like the alternative version for the medieval. So we're going to come up like this. Now this right here is showing us the level 1. If we right click with the build tool, you'll see right here, you can switch packs like this and select which one, but you can also switch the level that you're being shown. So if I click on the alt town hall, it's on level 1 right now. If I click level 5, then you'll see this right here. So the level 1, these brown blocks are just showing you what will need to be used as space later on. But I always recommend that you start off in level 5 so you can see what this is actually going to look like when it's finally done to get the location of your town hall. Now we've got this nice port area here, which we are going to expand on, of course, but I think this is where we want the center of our town hall, like the door of it, to be facing. So that is this right here. See this little door down here. This will be the way in and out of our eventual town hall. So with that selected, we're now just going to use the arrow keys to get this moved around to where we want it to go and find a rough position for it. And I think roughly there is going to be good. We might need to take that tree down first, but I think this is a good spot. Let me just take that tree down. With that tree gone, we can see that this right here is looking like a pretty good location. It's pretty central and all the rest of it. So I think roughly here, maybe just a couple more that way is where we're going to go with it. Just like that. Now, the really important thing is to get the Y level correct again, because you can see right here, this is the way in. If you place it like this, you'd need a staircase and it just might not look very good. So if we go down like this, we can get down to ground level. What it is, basically, there's a bit of a basement to this building. That's what all this stuff along the bottom here is. But it's important that you get this right when you first place it. So that should be level with the ground, of course, in the area, which is here. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go back into survival mode, though. So let's put myself back into that before I go ahead and hit tick. And there we go. We have now placed down our town hall. Now, for some reason, I kept the town hall. I'm not sure if that's because I was in creative mode for a bit or something happened there, but usually that would disappear from your inventory. Anyway, not to worry. We just got a spare one, I suppose. But this right here has been placed, as we can see. So if we right click this right now, then we can go ahead and create a new colony. And there we go. It has been created. Now, as you can see, we've got this outline right here. This is where the town hall will go. But any moment now, we're going to get our first citizens turning up. So you do want to be a bit prepared for this moment. And one of the things you want to do, which I'm going to do right now, is go and grab a load of torches and light up an area nearby, just so they're a little bit more protected. And here we go, guys. Emmeline N. Good is our first citizen. There she is, arriving at the town. They do come towards the town hall, of course, but they will walk away over time, so you do have to be a bit careful with that. Now, at this stage, it's always worth checking whether your mod pack has the F7 mod, and if it does and it shows up like this, then basically if we place down a torch, it takes away the crosses, so we know whether or not a mob could potentially spawn here. Now, the area you want to pay particular attention to is around your town centre. This is where your citizens will return to at night times before you build them houses, so in the early game, that's where they're going to be. So as long as you have this safe, you're going to be pretty good. Also, as soon as it gets to nighttime, you want to sleep, and you can see on my inventory right now, I do have a sleeping bag. And again, if you have a mod pack that has this in, it's a good thing to do in the early game. The thing is, if your citizens die, then their happiness can go down. It's a bit of a faff and stuff like that. So just better to avoid it if you can. So here we are. As soon as it's nighttime, I'm going to sleep through the night just like this, and this will help to keep them safe. And you can see more villagers have started to arrive. We've got Chance A. Miller. It looks like him and Emmeline they're either butting heads or really getting to know each other well. Either way, we are starting to get them. And basically, from placing the town hall, you'll keep getting citizens arriving until you have 4 citizens in your town. And at that point, they will stop. And later on in the series, I'll go into how you can get more citizens into your town and that sort of thing. You need to like build houses and things like that. I have covered this in previous videos if you want to search them on YouTube. The next building you want to make is going to be the builder's hut. And you can see the recipe for it here. So any door and a load of planks with a build tool. You get the build tool back incidentally. So if we go ahead and make one of those, we keep this build tool, which is pretty handy. And that's going to be the first building that you're actually going to build in your town. As always, I do like to do this in creative mode. I do this with all of my builds to make sure they're looking good. The builder's hut, the builders will actually go to and from that hut when they're actually making the new buildings for you. So you want to place it somewhere quite central. And I'm thinking having it down by the port might be a nice idea because we've already got this area going on. So I'm going to look to place it somewhere around here. Now, the builder's hut is once again under the fundamental section right there. And we can see we've got a normal builder and an alt builder. I am still on the medieval dark oak, which I think I want to use for this, but you can mix it up if you want and have like some oak and some spruce and stuff like that. Now, I've actually changed my mind. I want to see what the medieval oak pack looks like here because I think it might be a nicer way of doing it for the builder's hut, not the town hall. Let's put that to level 5. I think this could look really nice because the dock's got a lot of oak in it, and eventually the the town's going to have oak in it as well. We've got some back there that we built, and the town hall will be dark oak, but I think having a mix might be nice. Now, I'm thinking if we build it in around this area, this could be really cool because we're going to have eventually that looking like that, with the dock here as well, and it's just going to be a really nice sort of feel to this area. As you can see here by the grid patterns that come up, this is the outline of our town right now. So from the center of the town hall goes all the way around, of course. So we're going to build this right on the edge, which, although it's not going to be at the center as we're starting out here, it will be pretty central as we expand. And we can always make multiple builders huts in the future if we need them. Okay, so I think this is about the location I want it to be. It is nice and near the port, and I like the fact the crane bit is nearer to the port, so that's pretty good. We've gone ahead and put it up on a bit of like a hill here, so I'm just trying to get it like the right Y level. I think that's one too high, as you can see, so we'll go back down to there. I think that's looking pretty good. Now, of course, it won't look like this at level 1. The level 1 is going to look just like that. So a far cry from how it is going to look, but still quite nice. Back into survival mode, as always, before we hit the tick. And there we go. We can go ahead and tick that. Now, once that's been ticked, we need to find the little block for it, which is right here, as you can see. And we need to basically assign a builder, which we can do by going onto the Manage Workers section here and choosing someone to hire. The game highlights in green the most important ability for this job, and then in orange, the second most important. So you can see here, if we had Emmeline or Carly, those two would be the best two for the job. Now, at this stage of the game, it automatically puts workers in for you, and we've got the best person for the job, which is Emmeline. So that's fantastic. We're happy with that. However, what I recommend you do is go over to your town hall block block, and you can actually change this so that you choose the workers each time. So if we right click the town hall block like that, then you have all kinds of things you can do from here. Now, what I like to do is, first of all, kids will be born, I'm going to put that to off because I like to control the rate at which my colony expands, especially in the early game. Then where it says hiring mode here, I'm going to go ahead and change that to manual. And I'm going to do the same with housing mode. That means that we choose where citizens live, like which house they go into, and also we choose who does each job. They happen to be completely fine for this builder's job, but it's just something I like to have going forwards from here. We're now going to make our two most used items in the game, and that is going to be, first of all, the clipboard. There we go, that one there. And also the resource scroll, that one there. Now you can see they're incredibly easy to make. They just need leather and sticks, so very early game items, but they're going to be crucial as you play through your adventure. Starting with your clipboard, shift and right click it on the town hall block, and you get a message in chat there that says it notes the request now from Kaizen's colony. So if we right click the clipboard at this point, there are no requests, but when there are in the future, they'll show up here, and then we'll know what our citizens need without having to go around and ask them individually. We now want to go and shift right click the resource scroll onto our builder's hut right here, and you want to make one of these for each builder's hut that you do. But with this in place, then when we set the builder to build something, it will tell us here what she needs. So let's demonstrate that right now. If we click on the builder's hut here, we can go to build options, and basically we just want to hit build building, and that'll create that request. And within a few seconds, usually they'll pick up that request and know that they have to build it, and then you'll start to see how the resource scroll works. Now you can see down here, you might just be able to see this, but Emmeline has got stuck down there somehow. She's down in a cave or some sort of underground area. This can happen sometimes. So what you want to do is go here, just hit recall worker, and then she'll instantly teleport here. You can also do this over at the town hall, which I'll show you now. Now, if we right click on the town hall building, what we can do is go down here to our citizens, and we can recall the citizen that we click on over here on the right hand side. So if you're ever losing a citizen, you can't find them or they're stuck or something, that's the way to get out of that pickle. Now, if we right click on the resource scroll, it tells us everything Emmeline needs in order to build the builder's hut, including items that you have on you, which are shown here in green. So you can then just go through and look at all these things and say, okay, so I need a chest. So you go to wherever it is in your storage that you have a chest, put one in your inventory, and now when we right click, the chest has moved down to the bottom because it's in green as something we already have and not something that we actually need. Incidentally, once your citizens join the town, it's not a bad idea to shift and right click them to go to their inventory and just chuck a little bit of food in. They will need food over time, so it's good to get them off to a good start with this before we automate it, which we will do later on in this series. One resource that can be a little tricky are these right here, the framed oak planks. It does say there you need to craft them in the architect's cutter, which of course comes with the pack. And this is this thing right here. So if we right click on that and open it up, you get this GUI here. What you need to do is click on the oak planks and spread them between these two here, the frame and the center material. Once you've done that, you can then find the ones that you need. So I know for this one, the framing type is plain. And actually, I'll show you on here, if I right click the resource scroll again, it does say this here. So you want to pay attention to that. It is a framing type there. It says plain, and that's how we do that. So now we just go ahead and do that, hit this one here for plain, and we can make up as many as we want. I'm just going to make up a few because we'll probably need them for other things anyway. Now you see here that if you don't have enough, then it's shown in orange, right? And it tells us we're actually 3 off. So we actually need to make up some more of these. So I'm going to do that right now. Once everything in your resource scroll is showing as green, that means you have all the materials. And there are a number of ways that you can give them to your builder. You can shift right click the builder to put them directly into the inventory, and also shift right click on the builder's hut here to add things in there. However, the best way, in my opinion, is to right click the builder's hut and go to required resources, because when we click all this right here, it just uploads them very quickly and automatically. But what it also does is now in our inventory is all the stuff that they didn't need. So they needed some oak fence and some oak doors and stuff like that, but we had extra on us. So this way, once she is done building, she won't have any extra resources clogging this up, which will be important in the future. Now you can see she's got this notification above her head, and this is where the clipboard comes in, because if we right click here, it tells us what she needs, and she's saying that she needs shears. Now you can give her shears if you like, but also you can just go ahead and clear these things yourself, because that's what she needs the shears for, right? To clear this grass and the flowers and stuff. Now we have FTB Ultimine on this, so we can actually go ahead and do this very quickly. Okay, we have another request right here now for a shovel. Now the cool thing about this as well, if you go to more details, it'll actually tell you what level of shovel they need. So right here, we can only give her these tools that are showing up. So like a golden shovel's fine, stone paxel's fine, gold paxel, and all that sort of stuff. What we couldn't do was give her, like, say, a diamond shovel, because she's not at that level yet. However, she will be later on in the game. Now, the really good thing about this is if you have any mods that run different tools, so for example, we have the silent tools mod running on this mod pack, then it will actually show up any of those tools that can also be used. So it does cross cross compatibility. You know what I'm trying to say. It recognizes other mods tools that you can use for this request. What I'm going to do though is just make up 4 of the shovels right here and give her those. They do seem to get through tools pretty quickly, so I like to give them a little too many because they're going to be used again in the future. And then obviously once they start to get better at their jobs and we upgrade them and stuff, then I give them better and better tools as they go. And for these, I'm just going to right click and chuck them all into our inventory just like that. Now, as I was running over here, I noticed something that I want to tell you guys about because this could cause you to lose citizens. So I've got some dirt on me. There we go. Basically, sometimes you have little holes like this, and the citizens, they will go down there, and when they do, they will die because obviously mobs will attack them. So I'm actually going to go and get some torches and go and light that area up, but then I'm just going to fill it over with the dirt that I have on me. I want to light it up so that there's no mobs spawning there because they'll just be annoying and making noise under the ground. But it's always worth checking that if you have any caves or ravines or anything like that that's nearby to your town. Now, one cool thing, you'll see this creeper right here is about to explode. We'll just hit him over there, and it didn't do any damage. So once you've placed your town, by default, creeper explosions will be turned to off. So they'll still damage you. You can still die, so do be careful. But what they won't do is destroy anything in your town. So that's actually a really handy little feature, and that's something you don't need to worry about. With all the right tools and materials, Emmeline is going to go ahead and build up our builder site. You can see she's getting started here with chopping out the bits of grass that we don't need anymore. So let's watch a time lapse of her doing that.
What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Comes back around. Comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Comes back around. Comes back around. Hey.
And here we go, guys. Fireworks in the sky to celebrate our first building being built. They actually do the fireworks for every building, but we do have the Builder's Hut level 1 now, which is pretty cool. Now, the way this works is once the Builder's Hut has been built, you can build any of the other buildings. So you might start with like your town hall, but you might not. You might start with a restaurant or a house. It's up to you, which is all part of the beauty of this game. And whatever building you choose to build, you can build them up to the level that your Builder's Hut is. So if you have a Builder's Hut level 2, you can build like up to a town hall level 2. But to get to a town hall level 3, you need to first upgrade the Builder's Hut. So it all starts here, and that's why it's the first building that you build and why it's such an important building. With the building hut being so important though, what I'm going to do is actually right click it and go to build options, and we're going to upgrade it. So you just hit upgrade down here if you want to upgrade the building. You do the same thing for each building. You go into the GUI, go to the build section, hit upgrade, and that's easily done. Now, once again, after a few seconds, the request should come in and our resource scroll should then update to what we need for the Builder's Hut to be level 2. And here we go. We need all of this stuff right here. So obviously we need a bit more to do this one than we did the first time around, but it's nothing that's too difficult to get early game. Should be all right. So let's go ahead and get on with getting that stuff. Now that it's been upgraded, this is how the Builder's Hut looks at level 2. Not a huge difference, but it does look a little bit nicer than level 1. We've got these arches right here that are like walkways that take us through to different parts of the town. So that in itself is quite nice and something that the Builder's Hut will expand on as we keep upgrading it. On top of that, there's a bit more decoration. We have some of these barrels around and some more of the framed pieces like the cobblestone and paper frames you see there. And we have more storage chests inside, meaning we can actually give our builders more materials, which obviously they'll need when they're building new buildings. Also, if we go in through here, you'll see that we have a downstairs area. So that's pretty cool. We've got the beginnings of a basement here in our Builder's Hut. Not a lot here at the moment, but it does look pretty cool. It's got some storage and different build materials, and this is something that will become bigger as the Builder's Hut expands over time. So let's right click our town hall and go into build options right here. And yeah, we just want to build the building. So let's go ahead and hit that. And the request has been created, and soon our builder should pick that up. Now, if I right click the resource scroll, you'll see here she needed 782 dirt. Now, if you see something like this, chances are that it's because she needs to fill in all these levels like here and the ones that go down here and over there in order to get to, say, this level here, if this is the level that the town hall is being built at. So if you see that, once you see them placing down dirt, and I'll show you this in a minute, we can actually help her out to speed things up. So we can see here that Emmeline is filling in dirt on this level, and we can be pretty sure that she's going to need to do that for most of this level. Like, there's a bit here that she's left, and it'd be interesting to see when this comes along. Does she keep filling in till the end? So let's have a look here. And no, she doesn't. So we can be, maybe there's some sort of foundations here, but what we can do is just start to fill this in for her, because probably this is what she needs all the dirt for. So doing this will just speed things up a bit, and basically me and Emmeline right now are building this together. So she's placing blocks and I'm placing blocks, and I reckon that's going to be a cobble. Yep, so I sort of changed that. But you can do this and help your builders out if you want to speed up the process a little bit.
What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around.
So here it is, guys, the finished town hall level 1. Let's have a little look around and see what's in there. We have this funny little entrance thing that goes in here, which seems kind of pointless because you can get to it anyway. There we go, we have that. Then heading up the path into the town hall, this is what we see. A little work area, there's a bed here, and there's also another room just in through here, and that's where the town hall block actually is. Like most level 1 buildings in Minecolonies, it's nothing crazy spectacular. There are some nice touches with like the fireplace with the smoke and stuff like that, but obviously as these buildings go up through the levels, they get more and more impressive. However, having the town hall is of course a fundamental part of the town in Minecolonies, so it's really nice to get off to a start with having one of those built.